Hi everyone, Pam here from Creative Homescaping. This is the second of my November Wellness Challenge series that I'm participating in that's being hosted by Sophia of My Great Challenge. I will have her channel as well as the playlist linked down below in case you want to check them out. As I mentioned in my last video, I really love Sophia's channel and I think you will too if you're not familiar with her already. So this is the end of my second week on my strict, basically no carb, no nut, keto cleanse that I'm trying to do in advance of the holidays. So in case I fall off the wagon and cheat and have too many carbs, I won't balloon up to something that's unmanageable and feel like I have to start all over again. So last week I told you I had lost 3 pounds. And this week I actually did lose another ½ pound. So for me, that is very good. Particularly because I'm having some issues with how my thyroid levels are right now. So things are a little bit in turmoil. But I'm very pleased with that. And I wanted to get into a little more detail on some things I mentioned last week that I forgot to talk about. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So the first thing I mentioned was that with one exception, I wasn't having any nuts. Well, I had been doing some research and I had discovered that Brazil nuts have a lot of selenium in them, which is very good to support thyroid health. So I started eating 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day at the time that I take my other vitamin supplements. And we will see how that works. So I will let you know in the future what's going on there. But those are the only nuts that I have eaten for the past 2+ weeks. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was intermittent fasting. And it sounds like you're fasting intermittently, you know, like you go on a fast and then you go off, you go on a fast, you go off. That's not exactly what intermittent fasting is. Intermittent fasting means that you are limiting your eating window to a very narrow time frame. So one of the most common is 16-8, which means that you fast for 16 hours and then you allow yourself an 8-hour eating window in which you can have your 2 or 3 meals that you're having while you're on the keto lifestyle. And I call it a lifestyle, it's not a diet. This is how I eat most of the time. It's just I'm being more strict, not having the nuts this time, as I mentioned. So I always actually have not been a person who wanted to eat much breakfast in the morning. I have always thought breakfast was overrated. I did just fine in the morning without having any breakfast. But the other thing was I take my medication in the morning and you're supposed to do that on an empty stomach and then I eat for a while. So I've always kind of done this, but my eating window was larger. I would say I probably had a 10-hour eating window, maybe from like 10 in the morning to sometimes 8 o'clock at night. Well, this month that I'm doing this, I'm really trying really hard to have an 8-hour eating window or less, and really I'm going for 5 to 6 hours. So why you want to do that is that if you fast apparently for 12 hours or longer, it triggers a process in your body called autophagy, which is where your body starts getting rid of older cells and generating new cells to replace them. It also apparently stimulates growth hormone. Now this is just the research I've done. Please do your own research. I'm just sharing this for entertainment purposes. I'm not telling you to do this. I have talked with my endocrinologist about the types of things that I eat and the types of eating windows that I do, so she's fully aware that I'm doing this. And so I wouldn't recommend you start anything like this at all. Please do not, unless you have consulted with your physician about this. But my understanding is that after 12 hours, your body goes into this state of autophagy where it's cleansing out the older cells and making new cells, and also triggering growth hormone, which is beneficial for lots of reasons, you know, anti-aging and that sort of thing. So I now am trying to wait until around noon before I have my first meal, and then my husband and I are generally eating around 5. And we can do that because he's a teacher, so he gets home early. He usually gets home a little after 3, and then he goes and does his mountain biking, and then we usually eat around 5. And for those of you who don't know teachers may leave work in mid-afternoon, but they go in very early in the morning. They also bring homework with them. There have been times in the past where he's been up till midnight grading papers and that sort of thing. So don't think that just because he's getting off at 3, he's not doing a full day's work. He often puts in 10 or 12 hours a day on prepping for the next day's school lessons and grading and that sort of thing. So that's just an aside. But anyway, so I have been trying to eat between 12 and 5. Now, the one thing I have been letting myself have, which will break your fast, is some coffee with a little bit of cream in it. And the cream has calories, so it will technically break your fast. But so far, I've been doing okay, not waiting until noon. And I think that's really been helping because I haven't really, other than not having nuts, I haven't really been changing the amount I eat or the type of food I eat. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on those 2 things, why I was eating a couple of nuts and what intermittent fasting is, in case you want to check it out and then ask your doctor about it. So I'm happy, and hopefully I will be able to lose maybe another ½ pound next week. We shall see. I'll check in with you then. One last thing before I go, I did want to mention, in case those of you are more regular viewers, you may have noticed my hair's a little darker. Well, let me show you. This is actually my natural hair color right here. And I have just a few gray hairs around my face. Normally I have them highlighted, but they were getting a little blondish, and I wanted it to be more like my natural hair color. So I had my hairstylist not put so many highlights in this time. So I'm back more to my natural hair color, which you can see, like I said, it's this brown color. So, and I thought for the winter time, since I'm not out in the sun as much, it would look better this way. So I consider that part of my wellness because it makes me feel better to have my hair looking the way I want it to. That's it. Thanks to all of you who watched to the end. If you're new to my channel, I post several videos a week on how to creatively manage and decorate your home. So I hope you'll consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button down below, as well as hitting the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. As I mentioned in the first of this series, this is a little different. I decided to participate in Sophia's challenge on video because I was already doing this on my own, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to have some videos about it just before the holidays in case it helped motivate some other people to give it a go. So that's it for now, and I hope you'll come back and see all my holiday decorating videos. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.